Hey, hi guys, welcome to JC Transformation Strategies and welcome to our Sunday Bible reading and study session. Alright, so I hope everybody's doing well, keeping the faith and not losing hope. So as you guys can see, I'm in a very lovely background because I wanted to represent more of the calmness, the serene that we've always been talking about, and we just did the meditation this week. So it's important that we have that calmness, that stillness, and remember that October is a month of happiness. So because it's a month of happiness, we're going to be starting off with happiness quotes, happiness meditation, and just being in nature, which is so lovely, so connecting to divinity. All right guys, so before we move on, happy birthday to those who have already celebrated birthdays, and congratulations also to those who have graduated or anything that you have achieved this week, and condolences to those who have lost loved ones. Okay, so guys, we're gonna be looking at a very important topic today. Okay, so today's topic, all right, is you need to make it a habit. Okay, this line is actually so windy here. You need to make it a habit for you to be happy. You need to make it a habit. Okay, right. So the Bible scripture is going to be from 1 Thessalonians 5 verses 16 to 18. Okay, it says rejoice always. Just verse 16 says rejoice always, right? Rejoice always, pray without ceasing, give thanks to God in all circumstances, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus and for you. And do not quench the spirit, do not despise prophecies, but test everything, hold fast to what is good. So when you look at verse 16, it actually says rejoice always and pray without ceasing, meaning pray without stopping. So we just thank God for his word. So guys, if you look at it, you need to remember now, for your source of happiness, it comes from within you, right? And you need to make it a habit for you to be happy, because nobody else is going to make you happy. You need to make it a habit. And remember, a habit is also built on something that is repetition, something that is repeated, as done over and over again. So imagine now being happy all the time. As I told you, basically even it saves you from getting gray hairs and all of that. And imagine you only get those like fine lines and wrinkles, especially all the women out there. Nobody likes those fine lines and wrinkles, and using a whole bunch of creams to like stop that. But yeah, by you being happy, actually it's gonna rewire that brain, that traumatic depression, anxiety brain that has been really like affected over this time. So it's important for you to be back to your happiness, and that is what today's session is about. It's about your happiness, to make it a habit. Okay, right? Remember guys, nobody's gonna do it for you. You're gonna have to do it for yourself. Nobody's really gonna help you in literally anything. Okay, now we spoke about happiness last week, and we spoke about choosing happiness, right? So in the midst of everything, we need to choose happiness. Now remember, there's so much of things happening around us that it's difficult to choose happiness. It's difficult to actually choose something to make us happy in an unhappy environment, unhappy states. How do you actually choose it? So it's important now, guys, for you to understand that you, in order to choose that happiness, you need to be happy. So the first thing is your mindset that needs to actually choose to be happy. Okay, so no matter, like, even though I don't have much in my bank account balance, but I'm choosing to be happy. I choose that happiness today. I choose that success. Or you know what, even though I cannot have kids, I'm infertile, or maybe I'm struggling at the moment finding a job, but I choose happiness. Okay, I'm not going to be choosing something that's going to bring me more down, because your body is so powerful, and your body doesn't like to be in an unhappy state. Nobody likes to be in that state. So your body always wants you to be happy, right? So you can build, and you can recite, and you can claim it in your life. Okay, now you must desire to be happy. Okay, the desire is a passion that starts within you. So when you claim and you do this meditations to be happy, you actually speaking forth in the heavenly realms. You speaking forth into universe. You actually speaking to the universe. You speaking to heavenly realms, where you're choosing the happiness in your life, and it's important to do that. Okay, but it's also difficult when you're starting at a phase where you're almost like in a depression mode. Like there's no sort of things to be happy for. There's no sort of things to be grateful for. It's difficult. Nobody can say that you can be happy when you're already so depressed. If you lost your job, or you are applying for jobs, you can't get it, or your health is so sick, how on earth are you going to be happy, right? It's something that's very difficult, but that's where the solution comes, that you need to set goals. So when you have your goals set, you know that, you know what, even though I have the sickness, even though I have this depression, even though I'm having infertility issues, or I'm having relationship issues, I can't find somebody of my character, my standard, but I'm not going to be sitting in the unhappy state. The whole idea, guys, is for you to get out of that unhappy state, because that unhappy state is what's keeping you down. It's keeping you like trapped. Okay, something that is holding. Imagine somebody is holding you so captive now, right? If somebody is holding you that captive, you're not gonna really like even find a way to escape, unless your mind is so powerful that you can break free from that cage. So the whole idea is to break free from that unhappiness state, that unhappiness cage, right? So guys, that's why I said that even though we're living in this unhappy world, right, there's so many things that's actually happening to us. It's beyond even the normal. If you look at it in the news, it's so frightening even to look at news, like for real, like you don't even like to. But we need to understand that these things will take place. The Bible also says that, and there's nothing we can do about it. It's out of our control. But don't let the news actually make you so controlled up that you lose your happiness, okay? Because you don't want to lose yourself in any process, okay? Right, so it's evident that even the news carries that energy, and we know that in life you're gonna meet a lot of unhappy people. You know, it's very difficult to be happy in a working environment if everybody's so sad, so depressed, everybody's so against the manager or the leader or the team leader, everybody's just speaking so negative. It's really, really difficult to actually you know, to actually be like happy, okay? If you see like your sales are down, or if you see your productive work is declining, how on earth are you going to be happy? It's difficult. You need motivation. You need actually even the boss to come up with ways where a leadership will take the action and actually give you the motivation so you can perform better, so your performance appraisal increases, it improves, okay? Because you don't want to be sitting down with being unproductive. If you unproductive, you unhappy, that goes into your work ethics and everything. Your company gets affected. Instead of profits, you end up in losses, okay? And that's how companies get affected nowadays, right? Have you noticed when you even go to the shops now and you meet up with like retail people, they're like so depressed of their working hours. They're so depressed that, you know what, I'm stuck in this 12-hour shift or something like that, and already the attitude is so negative that, you know, like you actually realize that they chose this job, okay? They literally chose the job. They chose to be there. They should be happy that they actually have a job, right? I understand sometimes the jobs are just so unbearable and everything, but you chose it. But the thing is, when you have that state of happiness and that turn into unhappiness, you don't feel productive at work, and you just feel like to run away. You feel to quit. You feel to badmouth even your bosses and stuff like that. And because of that state of unhappiness, it gets bigger. The issue gets larger at hand. So it's very, very important that we get out of that. Right. So as I want to say, guys, we are going to meet people not so happy, but we need to understand from where they're coming from. So a lot of people has that unhappiness actually from a sense of they lack security in themselves, okay? Basically it's insecure people. So insecure people always like to bring people down, okay? They bring it down because they don't feel secure in their body. They don't feel secure in their mind, the body, the spirit. So because they feel like envious towards everyone, then they start to be envious towards you, okay? And when they start to be envious, then they'll start to badmouth you, or even silently hate you and silently try to bring you down, okay? So that's all just coming from the person's their mindset, their character, and how envious they are, right? So you will get people like that. But as I said to you guys, people that is actually unhappy they're coming from a place of lacking of self-esteem, lacking of self-confidence, lacking of security. So they just have no securities among them. Their brain is literally not even wired correctly. So that is why they do that. They make you more unhappy. But you need to understand that you will meet people like us. There's no way that you will not meet, okay? It's everywhere. You will meet people who's like envious of you, jealous of you. It's just your talent, it's just your gift, it's just of where God has called you to be, and that's basically why they are like that, okay? Right, so guys, the mode of happiness, right, is how you actually start your day. So you, let's just say now we actually choosing it now for you to be happy. So if you want to be happy in the morning, you need to like set the day on happiness note, meaning you be positive. So the meditation that we did this week, midweek, it was, I was choosing happiness. So I said, I choose happiness, I choose peace, I choose success. And we just looked at those 3 pointers. We didn't look at anything further because we wanted to get into the realm of now, the happiness realm. You don't want to dump yourself with a whole lot of meditations and get confused, because meditations is very powerful, but you need to understand how it works. Meditations also, it's something that if you haven't done it, you have to start slow. You can't expect to just start your meditations and you haven't really done anything, right? You haven't trained your body into meditation. So it needs to be in a calm, safe space and all of that, right? So when you wake up the morning, right, you like do your routines and stuff like that, look in the mirror, and then you will say to yourself, I choose happiness, all right? In spite of everything, I choose happiness, I choose success, I choose peace, okay? Try and recite it even when the negative flashback comes, or like the triggers appears, or somebody is having a really grumpy morning and you're just having a cup of coffee and you got to deal with everybody's tantrums at home. You just say, I choose happiness. I'm not going to be choosing anybody else's chaos. Whatever their chaos is, their emotions are a bit like off today, but that's their issue. You must choose your happiness. Don't base your happiness on somebody else, okay? Right. So also guys, when we're happy, we appreciate ourselves, and I also pray that we break out of that cage of unhappiness and create our own sense of happiness. So this, as I told you guys, something limits you, something brings you down, because you're in that cage, you're trapped up. You don't want to break free from that, and when you're stuck in that, it's difficult to get out. Alright, so yeah, break free from that cage. Now guys, I'm going to be reading also again from the book that I spoke to you about, alright? And it's something, actually, when I read this, it was very powerful, okay? So as I told you guys, the power of your subconscious mind, alright? So remember, I told you guys this book is from Joseph Murphy, right? This is a very powerful book. This literally keeps me going, okay? It literally keeps me going. It helps me, and also it helps me to recite like meditations and, you know, to be happy. Okay, because it's not easy to be happy, all right? And especially when you faced a lot and you still face him. Okay guys, so we're going to be looking at one of the examples on page 100, okay, by Dr. Joseph Murphy. Okay, so as I said to you guys, you must have a desire to be happy. If you don't have a desire, you won't be happy. You need to choose that sense of desire, right? Now, there's one thing about being happy. You must sincerely desire to be happy, firstly. Those are people you will get who's depressed, who's actually dejected, unhappy so long that was actually what happened is that when a good news or wonderful news come, they don't know how to actually respond to it. Why? Because your brain is literally wired into being unhappy, okay? So because you've been unhappy for so long, you don't know how to actually react to that happy news, okay? Or you've been listening to like all that negative news, all right, okay, world news and stuff, and when something as good is happening in your country, you're like, for real? Like, for real? Because you don't know how to digest that news, right? Now, what is really powerful when I was reading this book, right, on page 100, they said that Dr. Murphy actually said, I knew a woman in England, okay, and who had rheumatism for many years. Now that's basically one of those arthritis, okay? Arthritis is basically where it's a joint condition, all right? It's also a muscle condition that actually attacks you. It attacks your immune system, okay? So basically what happened is, I knew a woman in England who had rheumatism for many years. She will pat herself on the knee and say, my rheumatism is bad today. Okay. Yeah, I was also quite surprised to hear that. And she will pat herself and say that I cannot go out, my rheumatism keeps me miserable. This elderly lady got a lot of attention from her son and her daughter, and even the neighbors. She really wanted the rheumatism. She really wanted that sickness, that arthritis, okay? And she enjoyed the misery, as she called it. This woman did not really want to be happy. Looking at the story, guys, you can see that the woman chose her unhappiness. She literally pat herself, pat her knee, okay, and saying that my rheumatism is bad today, I can't go anywhere. Right? So instead of patting yourself and actually being appreciative for how far you came, you're literally patting yourself and saying that, right, my arthritis is bad today, or I don't feel so good today, and you're literally dwelling in that, okay? So what happened to her? Let's read on. I suggested a creative procedure to her. I wrote down some biblical verses, told her that if she gave attention to these truths, her mental attitude will undoubtedly change and will result in a faith and confidence in being restored. She was not interested, alright? So there seems to be a peculiar mental morbid trait in many people whereby they seem to enjoy being miserable and sad. So yeah, people actually choose to be sad. So as we can see, this lady from England, she literally chose to be sad because why? She was getting attention. She's getting attention from brothers or sisters, excuse me, yeah, and even her own kids. And she actually enjoyed it. So basically what happens is that when you enjoy the attention of like feeling sorry for yourself, you literally sit in that hole, okay, that dark hole. So for you to get out of that hole, you need to choose a happiness. So remember, guys, happiness is a habit, and if you have been unhappy for many long, break that unhappiness. Set yourself free from that cage. Don't let the cage control you. Don't let the unhappiness control you. All right, rather be happy, smile. Like, even though things are not working out so good at the moment, but yeah, things will work out good for you. Start claiming the positives into your life. And as I said to you guys, that this month, as we read actually about the desire to be happy, and we read about making a habit to be happy in your life. Every single day you need to pray that. You need to pray that over your family. Last week we spoke about wealth, and remember we spoke about wealth itself. It will never make you happy, and a lot of people actually agree to that, because wealth itself, it will never make you happy. You can have so much, you can have the big titles, you can claim to be like a CEO and stuff like that, or a big shot, a big leader, but yeah, you will not be happy. There's no way you'll be happy. And if you still have to take sleeping pills at night, or you struggle to sleep and you're taking anxiety pills, then you tell me, okay, are you really happy? Especially the wealthy people. So yeah, guys, today it's a sum up of, you have to choose that habit of being happy, okay? Choosing the habit, living the life, doing the thing, that's going to create a character. It's going to build you up, build your reputation. Alright, guys, and if you guys need any assistance, and let's just say you have been feeling down lately, you're in a state of unhappiness, you want to get out of it but you don't know how, right? So please drop a comment below, alright, and I'll feel free to talk, alright, and I'm definitely available to answer your comments, to help you in any way, because that is what I am here as a coach for. And remember, guys, we all are in this together. Nobody's perfect. I know what it is, even being in a state of unhappiness and in a state of depression, anxiety, PTSD, you name it. I know it. I've been there. It's a tough thing, especially to choose happiness in basically in your world of unhappiness, and it's just like, it's unreal. But I want to tell you guys, you can choose it. You can. And I also pray that your happiness be restored. And I pray, like, you know, you will get that happiness again, because we all want to be happy again. You know, guys, I'll tell you something right before we wrap up. Whenever I go to a doctor, the first thing now I actually tell them, like, I just want to be happy. Like, I don't want to be sad. I've already been so sad, so traumatized for so many years. I just want to be happy. So make sure you give me good news, okay? And that just happened lately, and I was like, please, okay? And then yeah, I feel like even they don't want to actually scare me with anything, but yeah. But remember, guys, even if they tell me anything negative or something that's amiss in my body, how I react is so important, because basically my conscious mind hears whatever they say, but my subconscious mind is the one that actually reacts to it. So your conscious mind is the action that takes place. Remember that. You hear somebody telling you, like a doctor telling you, right, so you have this case, all right, you have this issue, you have an autoimmune disease, let's say. Now your subconscious mind is the one that's inside, that stores a whole lot of things, okay? It's like black there, all right? It's basically what you create for your subconscious to have pictures, right? But we'll get more into that later on. So this is just a quick tip. So basically your subconscious mind is now thinking, now how will I react? Will I react with emotions, anger, happy, sad, or what, right? But normally, actually, guys, once you start feeling calm about situations like how I have been, you just be calm. But there's just certain limits to everyone, you know how it goes. But remember, guys, control your reaction. Your reaction to things is so important. You don't want to end up angry and upset over little things, okay? Right, so guys, today's message, your desire to be happy, it all starts with you. So please choose happiness. Have a blessed, happy week, okay? Keep smiling and just keep being you, okay? Make sure, guys, that you always put your head up high. No matter what happens and stuff, you are not like affected by the world. You're not affected by anyone, okay? And don't allow anyone to steal your happiness. Always tell you that. Don't allow anyone to steal their happiness, your joy. You worked your butts off to be where you are, okay? That's what I even say, like, we worked our butts off. So don't allow any energy vampires to come and suck your energy off, okay? Okay, thank you guys. Have a blessed week. Stay tuned to JC, and please stay tuned on this week. There will be a meditation on the subject that we actually discussed today about making happiness your habit. Love you all. Bye. Stay tuned to JC.